The markets sell off. The Dow down 588 points. This is D7 here at Grok Trade. To all the new subscribers and the new people watching these videos, welcome aboard. We will keep you abreast to the very latest that's out there. The S&P drops 4%. The Dow down 3.7%. The Nasdaq down 3.7%. The Russell's down 3.9%. The banks off 4%. Gang, I have told you anytime the markets are down as much as 2%, that is noteworthy. We are double that. A bloodbath has taken place in today's market coming back from the weekend. China in significant trouble. Now, today, I'm going to be going over some technicals, but I have a whole list of questions people have been asking me, and I will do my very best to answer these questions for you. Question number one, and there's a ton of ways people were asking these questions, so I kind of put them together, surmised them into a block of about half dozen questions here. So hopefully they will, for the most part, encapsulate all the questions in how I answer these. Can you expect what will happen next? And the answer is yes and no. What will happen next is this. Expect huge volatility to continue to rise. This is the S&P 500, the SPDR ETF. Looking at this, when this happened, we had this big gap down, this rally filled the gap, come back down. We were just all over the place. A huge, huge, huge move today. Matter of fact, this is the biggest correction we received since 2011. I mean, right at the beginning of the day, the Nasdaq sold off by nearly 10% and right at the open. I mean, the Dow was down 1,089 points. Think about that. A 200-point down day in the Dow is huge. A 500-point down day is just massive. I mean, we're down 588 points today, but at one point we were down more than 1,000 points on the Dow. A huge sell-off. I mean, the VIX, which is the fear indicator, spiked 41% in one day, almost 42% in one day. Crude oil getting slammed. I mean, all commodities getting slammed. Crude oil is down now to $38 a barrel. But what will happen next? This is what I can tell you. The markets are broken. There's no way we're going to be making any new highs anytime soon. And I'm telling you that right now. No way, the markets are broken. But what you can expect is this. I'm expecting a 400-point up day really soon. I think that we will probably see a 400-point up day. And people will say, see, this was all fake. This was all just fear mongering. And I'm telling you right now, this happens every time we have a crash in the markets. You will see big, big sell-offs. Then you'll see big recoveries, one-day recoveries. But I'm telling you, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, the markets will be far lower than what you see right now. So the next question is, how far will it drop? It's anybody's guess. A lot of people believe that, because I have now the last two crashes we've come across that I've called them, and they're like, wow, so you must be able to know where we'll go to. The answer is I don't have any idea where we'll end up. I do know when it comes to levels, when it comes to looking at these charts, I can certainly pull up a monthly chart here. And I can start looking at support areas coming across that will be very, very, very logical areas for the market to at least stall or to hang up or to start to feel like it'll just stall at those areas usually. But to have any idea, I mean, until I can start drawing trend lines, like the next area, this trend line right here, definitely I could see us getting down here to 17.3 on the S&P, 173 here on the SPDR. I could see us getting down there fairly quickly. But I don't know where we'll end up because the markets, what needs to happen for me is for price action to play out. This is a monthly chart. I need it to play out so I can start doing my analysis on it. And then I want to judge that by volume that I see, volume confirming price action, and start to build a case of where we might go. As you know, we do this very well, and we call a lot of things, and we just nail it in the markets a lot of the time. Somebody is asking here, what should I do? What should I do? Well, this is what you should do: is go to Grok Trade. And when you go here, go down here, I just added this, hedging. It's a hedging course. Take that course. Hedging is a way to protect yourself. If you want to protect yourself in the markets, you have to know how to offset your long positions. So what do you do if you are in mutual funds? First, get out of mutual funds. That's a loser's vehicle to be in. That is, no one should ever be in mutual funds. Always be in exchange traded funds or individual equities. Or if you are more savvy, you can get into futures, commodities, and currencies. You can do that. Now, but what should you do with your retirement account? I'd say this: at least go flat. At least if you're in a 401k, tell your broker that you want to move it over into some sort of mutual fund, like a government type bond fund. Put it in something like that, something that doesn't move. It doesn't go up, but more importantly, it doesn't go down. At least put it in there. Maybe you could put it in some sort of monetary account, or some sort of mutual fund that would give you just a safe haven. Just ask your broker, what mutual fund do you have available to you that would safeguard your things? So just put all your money in there for the time being until the markets start to heal themselves, and then look for buy opportunities. You can buy a lot more shares of those mutual funds if you don't incur the downside. So for example, watch this. Let's say here, and this is what I did in 2000 in the markets, and when the technical bubble popped, in my mutual fund, or in my 401k back when I had a job, what I did was I moved it over to a government bond fund, and then the market crashed, and I got this nice reversal pattern. I bought back, but I was able to buy back with all my money up here a ton more mutual funds, and then we went higher. And what was interesting was when we got higher, I made about 70% on my for the year. About 70% on my my 401k, when everyone else did about 12% growth. That's all. They did 12%. I did 70 just because I got out here, got back in here. Technically, I didn't get out. I just transferred over to safe things, then got in at the low, very aggressive small cap type stuff. Those that they consider, quote unquote, very risky. So again, Grok Trade, take the hedging course. It's an hour and a half, but it will teach you how to hedge yourself. That will get in, and I'm telling you, you want to know about inverse ETFs. I go into great detail here on how to hedge yourself and how to use futures to hedge yourself. This is a great course. I just got the thing edited. It is now updated. It is a great course that you want to take. And what else should you do? 1, flat. 2, get out of mutual funds. 3, get into inverse ETFs if you want to capitalize on these drops, but take the hedging course for sure, or don't even start to trade. Moving on. What should I do? Yeah, with my investments, I carried that one. Can you explain what is happening? I can tell you this, that in the markets, when we were talking here, let's get back to the daily chart. I told you that the markets have been going higher. Remember us talking about that? Higher. I can get rid of this now. Higher. I'm going to get rid of that line, and also this. I'll keep that line. Higher. I said, but we're going into consolidation. Price action stayed in this area for a long time. Look for a huge pop to the upside or a huge drop to the downside. And I said, chances are we're going to get a huge drop to the downside just because of what we're seeing in the markets. So what we're seeing, growth just wasn't as big as what we assumed, that we assumed it would be. 3.9, I think, growth, when we expected it to be far more than that. It's just slowing down. Second largest economy, China. Having very big problems, and their problems are certainly hurting them, and it gives us a great catalyst on why to go down. We were going to move one way or the other, but because we used China was a great catalyst to get the ball moving. at the apex of this symmetrical triangle, and we get a huge drop, biggest drop since 2011. All right, what can I do to protect my account? Which I told you that already. Hedging, do that. That's how you protect yourself. Is this a correction or a crash? You hear me use the word crash a lot. Is this a correction? Definitely is a correction, major correction. But I'm telling you this right here, that this smells like a crash. It does not smell like a correction to me. I've been trading darn near 18 years, live in the markets. I lived through 2 market crashes so far. Lived to tell about it. And I am here to tell you now, last year, or the last crash in 2007, 2008, I called that, just like I'm calling this one. You guys will watch this years to come, these videos I'm doing. It's like, wow, man, he did call this. It's amazing. So this will be the second crash that I called. And this is something that I capitalize off of. I make money off this. I love these big moves. I mean, matter of fact, let me pause video and I'll go get my account and I'll show it to you right now from just today. Okay, I use interactive brokers. I try to block out as much my personal information as possible off of this. And today, a big drop in the markets. And I pocketed, this is realized profits of 15,000. Now I was traveling today, coming back from a little mini vacation with my family, so I was not at the helm when this happened, but I saw what could happen. I put on all my positions, and when I did that, what I did was add trailing stops at key areas, and they weren't usually 100% sellouts. They would sell out at different areas, you know, giving it time to make. So if I was at the helm and I was trading today, chances are that would have been far more. But I wasn't, and I'm happy with that. I mean, to be quite frank, if there's 220 trading days in a year, and let's say you take a month off for vacation, it's usually that leaves you about 200 trading days in a year. If you're doing $500 a day on average, you're making 6 figures at the end of the year. And if you're pulling down $1,000 a day, I mean, let me ask you that. Yeah, anyway, I could go on, but there's big money that can be made here in the markets. I love it when the markets drop, and opposed to just crawling higher. Much rather have big movements one direction or the other, because that is where I make my money in the market. So I'm looking for a lot more volatility. Again, I do expect some upside potential here. And so correction and crash. I think that we're heading into a crash. How can I find you on TradingView? Oh yeah, a lot of people talked about this. If you go to TradingView and you type in Spider, you get an account, okay, register with them. It's free. This is a free program that you can use. But type in Spider and then click on the it's a, I don't know, light bulb, I guess, a bright light bulb, and you'll see all these dots. What you want to do is on the Spider, go to the dots, and right when the market started to crash, you're going to see at this moment, time of this video, only 3 red dots. Oh, actually, there won't be any more than that. You're going to see 3 dots here. I'm one of them. You can hover over this, hover over it, and then click on me, and then you can find me. And there's also at these lows, like this green one down here, that's me. That'll be a dot, not a triangle. But you click on me and you can start following me. See this low, this, and this low? Those I call the lows. No one else on the Spider and on any charts have been able to call the highs and the lows like I have. Nobody has this track record. I have that. See that low right there? Everybody else, they're lucky. And I would say I would blow a lot of sunshine their way if they weren't lucky. If I saw a number of people doing what I'm doing, calling these lows and calling the highs, and doing it on a consistent basis, I'd blow all sorts of sunshine their direction. But no kudos yet that I have found with anybody else. But you can find me right here. And then you can follow me, and any time I make a move or a decision on something that I say, hey, we're going down, going higher, at least you'll have a chance to look at it, and hopefully I'll be right. So that's what you can do. So those are some of the questions that we can go over. Now, let's look here at the markets on the, let's get rid of these. So we had this drop, 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 drop. So what I'm looking for now is a bounce. So I think the bounce will come, and it'll be a big bounce. I don't know if it'll happen. It'll probably happen sometime this week. So I'm waiting for that to happen. And then as soon as we get the bounce, we start to correct, I will be looking to load up short for the long term. So that's what I'm looking at. So now go to Grok Trade. If you like the video, like it. And if it's something that you think others should know about, definitely share the video. It's share worthy. And subscribe at YouTube if you want to. But at Grok Trade, get the hedging course. That will help you right now. Catch you guys later.